Yeah, it's a beautiful morning. The sun is up. I said, let me get an early start to this. I'm feeling good today. It's about 9:30 over here. Hope everybody's feeling blessed. It's a lot that I've been pondering on, contemplating. So we're gonna discuss a few things. I'm gonna take it in a different aspect today. Usually I'm very cunning at what I do when I speak. It might sound far-fetched or to the left or far right, compared to what everybody else is saying. But I've done hard research, hoping to be challenged on anything I say, anything. I would love to be challenged, and I could take it to books. As much as my theory seems out of place in books, it's actually everything I do, I look for it first before I even post a video or speak on it to make sure. And I don't go around just pondering on life and try to explain what I think it is. No, I don't do that. I align myself with the ancients in all books: Rosicrucian, Hermeticism, Egyptian, Chaldean, Sumerian. If you listen to me, Babylonian, I follow the ancestors' ways. I'm an ancient one. I'm a soul. And all of us share the same knowledge of the Akashic records, or what's called Nibiru, which is the collective consciousness of the universe. It's a frequency. So on that note, I'm giving you stuff that I see first. I don't actually go and just start pondering, looking on YouTube, say, I'm going to be doing this, I'm Lord Enki. It don't work nothing like that. That's what I want to talk about. Topic is higher being. What it is to be a higher being. It's been a long time since I've been talking to y'all about the astral world, my experience, personal experience. So it's time to pick that up now. So from there, you'll understand what a higher being is. And it's the only experience that's going to do it. I could sit here and give you a definition. It don't make no sense. Anybody could say anything. It's what you could do. So with that in mind, without making it superficial, without adding no special effects from movies, I don't watch TV. It's been over 3 years. And I'll tell you, it's not the same. I feel bad for these generations coming up now who have TV involved in their life. I don't got nothing against nobody, and homosexuality is not something that's normal. It goes against nature itself, because in nature, how we look at life as higher beings is simple. It's that you either go with the flow of nature or you're against nature. If you're against nature, you're the beast. You're here to destroy us. So if you're looking now, your desires, your pleasures, which is fine, as long as it don't hurt nobody and it doesn't hurt nature. But when you're involving yourself in like two people getting married that's the same sex, that actually now, how is that possible when you yourself is half and half? Your left side and your right side is two different halves. It's opposite energies. Your brain has a right hemisphere and a left hemisphere. You have two ovaries, one producing one energy and one producing another energy. Your spine has two energies flowing down there, which is the caduceus sign. Everything is in parallel, like the yin and yang symbol in a cell. A cell itself is both masculine and feminine. So with that in mind, it's like you just disrupt the whole cause by taking away the polarities, yes, of life itself, and you start making it bipolar or polar. So you're taking two negatives and putting them together. You're taking two positives and putting them together. And this is how you change the world. You change genetics. What happened to our kids? What our kids is going to be exposed to? Pleasures. That's it. Pleasures. You're with this person. Why? Because you want to have sex with them. Not because you love them. If you love them, you will help elevate them. Help put them in better positions. Find out what they like to do and do that. This is a way what we're doing now is actually just seeking the fuck and seeking desires, and then you go capture somebody and tell them, look, as long as you fucking me, you can't fuck nobody else, you can't do with nobody else, and as soon as you do, I'm leaving you. That person now, they're in survival mode. They don't have no options. Plus, they have jealousy in them. If you're not insecure or jealous, It doesn't matter. You don't need to capture nobody. You don't need to hold them. You don't need to be their servant. All they have to do is live out their destiny like you're living out your destiny. When they're stressed out or hard times hit, they come see you. Y'all get together for whatever reason. If it was meant for two people to be twin flames, which is cohabitating under the same shelter, it will happen naturally. Not from your accord, but from the Most High in your spirits. That's what brings relationships together. That's why they say when God puts something together, it's forever. It can't be broken. So you be with a person you choose, you go through sorrow, pain, and hurt and broken hearts. And so we learn from the first time not to repeat cycles. We don't do it twice. So if we engage in relationship and it was bad, our heart was broken, it tore us down for a year or two, maybe even 5. Couldn't get ourselves together. As soon as we put ourselves back, why would we jump back on that same cycle or repeat that again? So a lot of people, when you look deep into it, it's their emotional state. They can't be to themselves. They can't be alone. So they put themselves into a lot of sorrow, misery, and pain just not to be alone. You know, we going from this, I don't have anything about any type of gay people, any type of lesbian, transsexual, whatever you do is cool. It don't offend me. I'm happy within my skin and I don't have anything against you. Like I said, this is higher being talk about the cause and effect and the effect you have upon the universe, nature itself. Think about it on a whole. Like I said, numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4. And everything is positive, negative, positive, negative. This formulates generations, life, to sustain everything. But when you break this formula, all you bring in this world is artificialness. You're giving them room to do everything artificial and you're okay in it. You bring in the beast into human life. So what happens, you have to have artificially made kids. Right now, because of our pleasures and desires, we have GMO food. Y'all don't even know what a real food is. Y'all don't know what real trees is. We eat processed food in bags, in cans, in bottles. BPM is killing us. Cans is sprayed with a blue lining. When you empty your corn can, look at that stuff that's sprayed around in it like a thin film. It's in every can. That's BPM. The food is poisoned. But you see, we don't know all of this stuff. We think we're okay because they trick us. They tell us what we desire. And we buy into our desires. So, like I said, think about it. When I'm dealing with this sexual thing, as far as asexual, bisexual, just on the whole, if the whole world was to turn gay, what would the world happen? Think about it. How would kids be born? What would be the next generation be? You would have the government like, yeah, I love this. Now let's go to the lab and figure this out for them. We got to figure it out for them because they put us in charge of everything. Now we just got them desired, pleasured out. When you become a desired pleasure, you become a star. You're a star. You're a god. You're a demon. But you're not the Most High, which is who you are. Because why? Your consciousness. You're not your body. You're not your brain. You're not your mind. You participate with them in an actual condition or event that's here to facilitate something for you, right? I'm pretty sure it's not to be a servant all your life. So it's something else going on. Well, that's really why everything is out of harmony. I just want you to understand. People come to put life back into harmony because we ourselves don't see the wrong that we're doing and the ramification it has for future generations. You know, back to the beginning of this talk. When I first thought of it and we talking about, you know, the gayness was in the closet, that's the first thing. It's because the peoples back then, they had a mother and a father. As we got over in time, you know, the crack epidemic hit, the 70s, even going back to World War I with the Vietnam coming back and everybody on from opium to all type of morphine and dope, we lost our father figure, man. We lost a father figure. And so households was being broken from from World War One in America. Single family households was being raised. Every family was being raised by the woman, where the woman lost her womanness and had to play the role as man and woman. It actually gave a mutation in her genetics to make her have to be a survivor in that type of environment in just modern times. And it changes who she really is. And that's because she's picking up the slack. Let's forward to the 70s, 80s, and 90s. All it was is an epidemic in the urban warfare, guerrilla warfare against the urban black community. Look at it from, they use Martin Luther King, who they put there to destroy not just our hopes. You see, that's a psychological trick they do, where they get everybody to look up to a star, and then they shoot the star down. Poof! Your hopes and dreams, you put it into that star that they made for you. And then once you shoot the star down, it's a magical trick. It's a spell. They killed you. They killed your soul. They killed your spirit. They killed your hopes. And so we keep on putting ourselves into media and all the stuff that show us these and build us up, and then they destroy them, like Cat Williams, like R. Kelly, like Bill Cosby, all under the guise of rape, sexual things. How long are they going to keep repeating this program before y'all catch on? It's the same thing like the false flag stuff or the crisis actors. They're doing it to us because we tune in to watch this stuff and we want to be programmed. So now, when we was young, like I said, this homosexuality shit stood in the closet like a gangster stood in the closet. A gangster. Not no homosexual. That's why I said I don't want you to think nobody I'm targeting you. It will fall the same for a gangster. A gangster will act like he's a vacuum salesman, an insurance salesman to his wife and kids. Put his hat on, sit down at the dinner table, eat with them, kiss them. At 9 o'clock he leaves. No matter what he did out there, who he had to rough up and everything, 6 o'clock he's home, sitting at the dinner table like nothing. Same thing. Homosexuals, everybody used to meet up at the clubs, the homosexual spots. Everybody did their thing. Go home and live the normal life. Life went on. All of a sudden, something dragged it all out of reality and took this now to the mainstream to try to change the world. All of a sudden, you start seeing gangsters disappear and corporations open. John Gotti's gone. The snitching of Sammy the Bull closed the doors to the gangster, to the mafia world. And their mafia world consolidated now and opened up corporation. Walmart started popping up. All these little mom and papa stores went out of business. They crushed everybody's hopes and dreams and started opening big corporations that everybody spend money on. They're not making no money off of all of that stuff. It's all paperwork. There's no actual cash here. So what are they really doing? Do you think about what's in them containers that, once you see this big Walmart on it and all these well-known corporations, what's in the containers? Do you think it's really products from China and these places to actually sell y'all? Think about it. Drugs. Where do drugs come from? Mexico? If drugs come from Mexico, right? And this border thing is so true about they could build a wall and stop it. Just go back and watch any video from Pablo Escobar to Cocaine Cowboys. Where do drugs come from? Let's see if you hear anything about Mexico, that Mexican war, anything coming up south. No, drugs never came that way. And it never will. That's a decoy. That's where they want you to look. Drugs, if you watch Cocaine Cowboy, any real show, comes from Florida. Comes from Canada. Comes from Maine. The other upstate New York, all the way towards the East Coast, up there. That's how they sneak it in. But they got y'all looking at the decoy about Mexico. They put all that there. No Mexican is stupid enough to even send something through there. Let's be for real. So if they do, that's them doing it. Only the United States is a whole stupid thing going on. They don't want y'all to catch on, but I'm putting y'all on to game. I was a part of all of that. I made it to the top up there and saw everything, and I'm putting y'all on to game. I'm retired now. I'm a retired man. Chillin'. This is what I do, God things. But back to now, us. Well, let's look at it like this. I'm there, for some reason browsing the TV. You know, it's been a long time. And all of a sudden, all I see is two men tonguing each other down. I don't see that in my reality. It's not in my reality. But now I turn the TV, it's on every channel. Two women tonguing each other down. Two women sleeping together. That's what the movies be about now. I'll be like, okay, if they're not showing the scene fucking, or two people doing something to offend your spirit, you gotta realize TV is designed to offend your spirit, to make you disassociate, to make you go, oh my God, shit you would never do. And so every time you do that, you offend your spirit. They step away from you because they do not want to experience these things. And so when you see now all this happening on TV, I'm shocked. Why? Because now it becomes like mirror neurons. It's a program. Remember now, you go to Marvel, go catch the new Marvel release or some movie with your little kids. All your kids coming out is doing superhero. He think he's Spider-Man. He think he's Batman. He's running around doing everything he just mirrored. It's the same thing when you watch homosexuality. Kids mirror that and think it's okay to accept it. But who are we accepting and what are we accepting? We accepting a decimal system to make a male that's actually alpha more docile. This has been going on for a long time. It started from way back. Chinese invented soy. Soy is plastic. Soy is estrogen. It boosts up men's hormones and make them have estrogen, female ways. In prison, they put soy in the water, in everything. They only give prisoners meat 1 day a week. But all week, they'll eat food, they think they're eating meat, but it's soy-based products. Everything is soy, because it kills their nature. It kills that testosterone. They don't have none of that no more. So mad men go to prison, a man, and come out gay. Come out with homosexual ways because of the soy in the water. I know this for a fact. I'm not telling you anything of speculation. Like I said, we leaving the textbooks now. You understand? Everything prior to this video is textbooks. I rebuttal it. I would love to debate it. But now these things is from my personal observation. From spending time in the feds, from doing different things. I'm not no goody two-shoe. Trust me, I know what good is because I was bad. That's how I know good. Only way you're gonna know good. So you gotta respect those as bad, even though they're probably bad at the moment. They're gonna convert over. Everybody has to learn their lesson. The gods and the spirits is working towards everything. So it's another deeper philosophy when it comes to higher being, because what we consider the bad and the evil is really the good, and what we consider the good is really the evil. Because for you to be good, you got to know first. If you don't know, you think you're doing good. Like you got all these people who come from out of Europe that took over the world and thought they was doing good. In reality, they doing us bad. Being rich is not doing good, that's doing bad. Being poor is doing good. Higher being talk, hard to understand. To have riches and give it away is good. To have riches and keep it is bad. Higher being talk. Back to the story. So now that people is being exposed to this on TV, being exposed to all of this, they mirror it. But what are we doing? Like I said, what's the cause? What's the reason? Do you feel this for your desires and your pleasures? They're telling you, oh, go ahead, just fuck anybody and fuck. Because when we talk of homosexuality, it's not about loving with no fucking. I would respect that. I would give them the most highest divine, higher being source if there was no fucking involved in it. But as long as it's animal based with touching and fucking, I can't respect it. You understand what I'm saying? Because here, as a hermetic person, a person who live as a celibate, aesthetic life, we don't do those things after a certain age, a certain point in our life period, because we know our life force is our semen, our sexual energy. That's what keeps us young. So if you're not doing these things to actually save yourself, what are you doing? You're killing yourself. And the government is helping you, and you're going along with the scheme. Oh, fuck this. I don't care about all that. I just say you gotta live today. That's what they want. That's who they are. We was never like that. We're the civilized nation of the royal family. The purple line. Purple comes from the demon line. Demon line is the first line up. It's the air spirits. You understand? Then come the angelic line and a whole bunch of hierarchy till we get up to God. So we're in God's hierarchy, however you want to call it. Whoever is not is called the Son of Man. They're unconscious, have no soul, nothing to them. So they look out for the people who has soul, who's of the demon line, Prolaprat, Plotinus. All of them is teachers. You gotta look at our line. It represents the scarlet purple. Look up the purple. The purple is the key to it because it represents the crown chakra. When this is open, you're out, you're free. Until then, you're not. You have to learn about all these sciences because as a higher being, that's your whole cause. The oldest man they found was called the Iceman. This Iceman, when they found him, he has Kundalini symbols and chakra symbol tattoo on him. They found him in the ice of Alaska or whatever. Kundalini and tattoo, the oldest symbols in the world. The giants, they found yoga. All the real original yoga that would probably been under the Barlow, B-A-R-L-O, Barlow. Before it was Buddha and his system in Christianity, it was called the Barlow. And it was from the giants, really, because they were so big and doofy and tall, they didn't know how to walk, so they had to teach them yoga and Kundalini for them to get smaller over evolution. These are things we don't know as higher beings, so we think yoga and all this stuff is, I'm not even going to get into this topic. It's just, I'm going to leave this for what it is, for what it's worth. But this is higher being talk, you understand, for you to make understanding of what's going on around you. Without this type of understanding, it's like you just came into the picture yesterday, and you just like, oh, I believe this, I accept this. You can't accept nothing, you can't believe nothing, don't trust nothing. You have to start all over to day one and find out what's going on first before you stand on anything, because you might be making a big error. Trust me, it's a lot to learn, a lot. Everything we've been taught is wrong. And I'm going to help everybody to understand it. You might not like it, but it's the truth. And this is what it's about, revealing the truth. I'm going to leave it on that note, and I'm going to hit you with another video right after this. University of Conscious Science. One love.